let's move on to our last topic, which isn't as serious as heart disease.
Right.
Okay, so the woman we're looking out for now is Aparna Nancherla.
Right.
She is an Indian-American woman who went to TJ, she's a local girl, and then graduated from Amherst. But she's not doing anything related to her psychology degree now. She's a stand-up comic, and she was featured in the Washington Post magazine. They had a whole 10-page spread about how she's making it.
I think the issue here is that Aparna is going off the beaten path.
Okay.
We have what's called the three noble professions: doctor, lawyer, engineer.
She's not.
None.
Yeah.
Right? So she has this good, from an early age, we build this thing up, go to a good school, start a family, things like that. And she doesn't, she's 28, not married. She has a job whose income is, I can't say stable. She's basically a rebel. And the issue is, as an Indian American community, as we look at her, is this okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we're starting to see here is young Indian Americans, they're choosing jobs based on what they want to do. Job security is not something that's fueling their decisions. I think this is really impressive. I think we've established ourselves as such a wide community that we absolutely should have a lot of Indian American comedians, more kids in the entertainment industry. I think it's really impressive.
That's the key, and you hit on it right there. It's the fact that we've worked so hard since we came to this country. Let's say in the 70s was the big migration, and we've set a base for ourselves, a community, a standard, a backbone to lean on. So we have kids who are able to branch out from the norm. I mean, we have the politicians, for example. We have all these new young politicians who are in their 20s and 30s, honestly. Young doctors, young professionals, and they are able to do what their parents couldn't. So I think we're starting to see, this girl, she has a degree in psychology from Amherst. She can go back into the private sector if she wants, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she chooses to follow her passion.
I want to bring the discussion back to there. So she went to one of the top liberal arts schools, and how is she utilizing or not utilizing her degree right now?
Right, and then that is an argument in saying, what is she really doing? How is she doing this?
Okay.
And the fact is, she's not utilizing her degree at all. But an argument against that is, how often do people who graduate from college use their exact degree in what they do? It's really, it's not like that. It's the business experience that you gain, and you happen to fall into a certain job, so you end up doing that. It's so often that people say, oh yeah, I have a major in finance, but I'm an engineer now, right? I'm an engineer, but I work on Wall Street. Happens a lot. So I'm not too worried about that.
And all you aunties and uncles out there that think that she's taking the easy path, this is by no means easy.
That's right.
Being a stand-up comic is really hard. She's facing a lot of heckles and jeckles in the audience, and I'm sure she's facing criticism and skepticism from explaining to people that, hey, I'm a stand-up comic, and people are like, oh, really? But she's doing what she wants to do. I think that's awesome. I think we should definitely give her a pat on the back.
Props to her. Props to her. Let's move on to our shout-out section. We have Osman Rashid and Ayush Pumra, who have founded the website chegg.com. It's a textbook rental site, which is actually kind of odd because we know textbooks are so expensive for college kids these days. They started for a while now. It's becoming wildly successful. Incidentally, the name Chegg comes from the chicken or egg scenario, which is that when you graduate from college, you can't find a job without experience, but you can't have experience without a job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chegg's legit. I use it all the time. It's a great, cheap way to get your books.
Yep.
Our next shout-out goes out to Lindsay Lohan. No more for
I don't know about Lindsay Lohan.
Okay, so in 2010, she really got a lot of attention from the American media for her substance abuse and incarceration issues. But she also, in April of last year, 2010, she released a documentary called Lindsay Lohan's Indian Journey, in which she investigated child trafficking in India. So I was skeptical when I heard about this, but when I actually watched it on YouTube, which I encourage all you guys to do, I saw a really smart and heartfelt investigation into this serious issue.
It was, and she made a difference while watching the video. They rescued 48 kids from that one shack and things like that, so pretty impressive by Lindsay Lohan.
Really cool work.
Our last shout-out of the day goes to Siddhartha Mukherjee. He wrote a book called The Emperor of All Maladies, a biography of cancer. It's exactly what it sounds like. It battles doctors' wars on cancer for the last 100 years. It's made the top 10 list for the New York Times, Washington Post, and Time Magazine. Props to him.
Rohan, it's been a blast blending with you.
As always, my friend.